Hey Gemma girls, today we're taking you on a little adventure. I'm here at Italy, downtown at World Trade Center, and we're going grocery shopping with the birdie. Today I'm going to make a very special Italian dish that's very easy to cook and quick to whip out for a quick lunch or even an easy dinner on a weekday. So follow along this journey. First off, sweet onions and garlic are just important bases for any dish really. And today I'm making a pasta dish for you guys. It's going to be an arancetta with sausage, and definitely need the garlic and the sweet onions to give flavor to the pasta. The core of arancetta with sausage, if you go to any restaurant, you're going to notice is this green leafy vegetable. And what is that exactly? That's actually the broccoli rub found right here. It's a green leafy broccoli type vegetable, and it just adds flavor. I know it looks pretty basic, but when you actually add it to the dish, it really brings out the flavor in the pasta and the sausage. So it's very necessary. This is the core of what this dish is about, really. The key ingredient in arancetta with sausage is obviously sausage. So here I am ordering the sweet Italian sausage for the dish today that I'm making for lunch. Okay. And the final ingredient in this very simple but very tasty dish is the arancetta pasta, which is like almost like a shell-like pasta. It looks kind of like this. I usually get this brand, this Italian brand of arancetta, but I guess it's not available today. So this is the arancetta. It looks like this, just so you know. And that's all the ingredients I have for today. I mean, it's so easy, and that's why we want to do this dish with you guys, because you can whip it out in 2 seconds at home. We're all busy people, so this dish will be great for you every day. And now I'm checking out my birdie. It's a great grocery bag because it fits a ton of things. And here I have, because these days you're not allowed to use plastic bags, so here I have my birdie. And now I'm putting all my groceries into my birdie. And I'm ready to head home and cook. And we're back in the kitchen, ready and excited to start cooking our lunch for today. Right here. All the ingredients required for a simple lunch dish today. And obviously the key ingredient, olive oil and salt and pepper. So there we have it. Simple, easy, great for a quick lunch on a weekday between your work from home situation. And here we are, cooking our lunch today. I am making, once again, arancetta with sausage. It's going to be an Italian pasta dish, and I love this dish in particular because it's so easy to make. As you follow me through the supermarket, the ingredients are very simple as well. And so you'll see, I'll make this dish in 10 minutes and we're ready to go. Have a sumptuous lunch and go back to work. The first and most important thing when you start cooking pasta is to always get your hot water ready, because it takes a while for it to boil. And so while I'm cutting and doing the vegetables and the meat, I always put my hot water on boil. And now it's ready. I'm gonna add some salt because this prevents the pasta from sticking. And here I have my arancetta. Going right in. Now I'm going to stir it, and it'll be perfectly cooking for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Because this is not fresh pasta, it's dry pasta, it takes a little longer. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go back to preparing my ingredients. And so here I am. I have the sweet Italian sausage that we bought earlier. So with the sausage, The trick here is you have to remove the skin of the sausage. In this case, I'll just snip this off and peel it off. Because what you really want is the meat of the sausage right here. Here I have my sweet Italian sausage. I typically add some flour to it to give it a smoother texture. I want to zoom in across. Over. And then I add some olive oil to it. It's also partly a way to give it a bit more flavor, but also it keeps the meat moist and soft. Add some pepper and just a tad of salt. The meat is already seasoned, so you don't really have to do too much to it. And then here I have it, and now I'm just gonna mix it with my hands. It's almost like a marinade. And yeah, put it aside, and I'm gonna cut the rest of my vegetables. And now I'm moving on to cutting my broccoli raw. So this is one of the main ingredients aside from the sausage in this pasta. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I just rinsed it. I'm gonna cut off the stems right here. And then I'm gonna cut the vegetable into 4 parts. Not to worry if it feels like there's a lot going on right now. Once you throw it into the pot, the vegetable will cook and it's gonna be it'll shrink a lot, and so it's not gonna appear like big, you know? It's gonna be very much part of the pasta. It's an added green. I like this because it's healthy, but it's also super tasty. This particular vegetable has a lot of flavor to it, and it's also very healthy for a diet. And the next thing I'm gonna cut is the sweet onion. This is what gives the pasta its flavor. So I'm making a meal for 2 right now, so I'm only gonna use half an onion for the time being. And what I'm gonna do with the onion is I'm gonna dice it. So I'm gonna cut off the ends, remove the top skin, and now I have the core. I'm gonna cut it into smaller slices. I love sweet onions in a lot of my food because it just gives the food more flavor. It's like an easy flavor additive almost, but healthy because it's not artificial anyway. It's a natural vegetable addition too. I like putting onions in my salads as well, so I put onions in everything. And as you may already know, I love cooking. And so I thought it would be appropriate for us to do a little cooking show for our JEMMA girls. Just learn a couple of easy dishes that you can make on a weekday when you're busy. And it's still delicious, you know? You don't have to compromise between a sumptuous meal, tasty meal, and time constraints, just like a JEMMA bag. And last but not least, we have the garlic, which is the base of almost every dish, including Italian dishes. I always leave chopping the garlic to last because, as you probably already know, it has one of the strongest smells and flavors. And so I don't want my knife to have garlic smell or flavor when I'm cutting other things. So I keep this to the last. I rinse my knife and then I chop my garlic for the final ingredient for today's dish. And that's really it. The 4 ingredients needed in the orecchiette Italian sausage with broccoli rub. And then I have the pasta cooking behind me, and that's it. How easy is this dish? And now the pasta is ready. I'm gonna rinse it out right here. So when you do this, you always have to be a little careful because the steam's pretty intense. And now I turn back on the heat using the same pot, so minimal cleaning required. And I'm gonna start putting the ingredients in. So the first thing is I'm gonna line the pot with some olive oil. I'm gonna add the garlic. Always start with the garlic first, followed by the onions, because you want the garlic to give the oil some flavor to it. When you add too many ingredients in the beginning, it actually makes it a little bit more difficult for the flavor to dissipate. So garlic first, and I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit so it browns. Okay, and as you can see, the garlic's now browning and getting a little crispier. Next up, I'm gonna add the onions. Ooh, I can smell the sweet onion flavor. And this is really what gives the pasta its flavor. Add a little bit more olive oil. Part of cooking is really being able to smell the dish, and I can really start smelling it, which makes me very excited for my lunch today. Add some pepper and just a tad of salt. And as I see the onions and the garlic starting to brown, this is when I start adding the broccoli rabe. Right here. So as you can see, the vegetables are already starting to soften from the heat. And to prevent it from drying up too much, you just add a little bit more olive oil to it. I spread it out a little bit so it cooks better, and I'm gonna let it sit for just a little bit. The vegetable has softened pretty fast. I'm gonna turn down the heat a little bit so things don't start burning. And now I'm gonna add the Italian sausage right in. Gonna break it up. I'm turning down the heat so things don't start burning. And now it's time to cook the sausage. And while the sausage is cooking, I start breaking it up and mixing it. Adding some salt. And some pepper. And here I am dishing the finished dish. It was done in 15 minutes. Quick and easy, and your perfect dish for your weekday lunch. And here you have your lunch is served. And here's my lunch. I'm so excited to dig in. But before that, I hope you enjoyed the Cook with JEMMA series. Do comment below. Let us know if you enjoyed this video, and you may see another video from us on making quick and easy meals on the weekdays between your work and your work lunches, even easy dinners after a long work day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bon appetit!